it is clear today that having an online presence is critical. That's obvious. But what does it mean for a young designer? What does it mean for an established designer? We are going to be relaunching our sites at Kwiat.com and FredLayton.com in the next month or two. And we've given a lot of thought to the question of what is an online presence supposed to be. There's a lot of schools of thought, and you're not wrong to choose one way or the other way. And in fact, we've chosen some different ways for each of the two brands, reflecting a little bit of the audience difference between them. I think you have to decide how you want to engage with your customers. That's the most important thing. So at Kwiat, for example, our client is a lot of people in that engagement moment. They're looking to get engaged. They have a lot of questions about the engagement. So we have we've already got a blog. We're going to be further expanding our blog because a lot of people in that area want to learn. They come to our site to learn, to look at diamond rings, to learn about what do I need to know as I go into this process, and that's men and women. So we have a man-focused area and a women-focused area because we want to talk to them. And we want to talk to them not in the way that you would talk to them through an advertisement, but talk to them the way I would talk to you if we were sitting here and you were asking me questions, because that's conversational. That's why Facebook has become so popular and Twitter has become so popular, because it gives people an opportunity to speak to their customers in a way that is more conversational. And I think, from my perspective, I think that's really important. I think that's a lot of what you captured, which is how do you engage people in not just the image or feeling of a brand, but actually in the process and answer their questions and make it fun for them and make it interactive and how do you do that without tarnishing your brand image? And for us, that was the big challenge and the big question as we look to relaunch our site. So the blog has to be informational and conversational without being off-brand message or too far away from what we're trying to achieve as a brand.
I think another important part of that is letting consumers interact with one another. And I know that our next push when we kind of launch our website again several months from now is on the social front of being able to ask other customers, which dress should I wear to this bachelorette party? And let them vote on it, or to kind of give feedback and say, how would you style this, to get feedback from the rest of the community, and then to kind of start assigning like trend-setting rankings for people who are really fashion-forward, who can kind of build this presence as like a styling advisor amidst their community. So I think the user-to-user interaction is important as well.
We're going to be doing something unique. We're not going to launch it until the middle part of next year, but the way we're going to approach e-commerce on Fred Layton is actually in the Gilt style sale. That flash sale, 24, 48, 72 hours. Here are some special pieces in the collection, only available here in this channel. Act now because they will be gone. And I think that's a new and novel approach. It's actually, I expect that we'll be the first brand to take that type of sale direct to our customer base.
Yeah, I think that it's been really important adding editorial content to our site. So we found that women want as much guidance as possible. So the initial filters that we've had on the site over, what size are you, what color do you want, what length do you want, have gotten more and more extensive in our case. So we started to say, what occasion are you going to? And to kind of break out those occasions more than just, black tie, etc. We have like a this is getting serious date occasion. We have a meet the parents occasion. So we kind of get a little bit more granular in helping advise a woman on her clothing selections. I think the more you can do things like that, it really helps.
I mean, obviously the economy has had an impact. If anyone could tell you otherwise, it's probably lying to you. But the truth is, it had a big impact on us. And again, the two businesses were impacted a little bit differently. We took the 2009 year, which was really the year that we all stared at our businesses and wondered, well, what are we going to do next? And we took the opportunity to clean up some of our distribution on the Kwiat side, because what we said was, nobody's going to perform great this year. So what can we do to make sure that coming out of this, we're really well positioned, partnered with the right people, and poised to grow very quickly again when the economy comes back. I know for an emerging designer or for any designer, including the most established, picking your partners wisely is going to be the first and most important choice. One of the first and the most important choice you'll make as you position your business for growth. If you pick the right partner, one who will take care of your brand, who will look after you, who will view it as a partnership, see the big picture, see the long term, you'll do very well. If you pick someone who's not aligned with your goals, not aligned with your interests, you'll find yourself fighting the uphill battle against distributors who don't share your vision. And we took this year, or the last year, to make sure that we were on the same page as all of our partners.
Yeah, I think that Rent the Runway is a really exciting potential for emerging designers because it's, online in general is a way of getting your brand out there, but especially for renting, it's like the ability to kind of try before you buy, right? So it's like take a brand out for a test drive. There's a lower risk for a woman who's going to rent something than if she's going to buy it and pay 10 times the price. So we do have, I think, Christian Soriano is a great example of a designer who's done really well on our site, and we're always adding more emerging designers, especially because those brands you can't access in so many parts of the country.
We got to be 100 years old as a company by being conservative. That doesn't mean you should be conservative in your approach, but you should be careful in what you do. Jewelry as a category is challenging because the materials cost a lot of money, especially if you're doing fine jewelry, and it's very easy to get deep into inventory before the sales are really keeping up. And I've seen a lot of jewelry designers with great ideas and great concepts launch their brands, build a lot of inventory, and then get stuck with the inability to continue to advance forward because they have so much. So positioning yourself, finding the right partners from the beginning who can help you through those early days of building inventory is going to be very helpful, it's going to be very important. But don't be afraid to be different. What succeeds in jewelry and what will make you stand out is doing something that's not been done yet. I mean, all of the great jewelers, all the great names, all the great people who really fit into that Hall of Fame of jewelry all got there because they did something that nobody ever done before. They designed in a way that nobody had ever seen, or they used materials in ways that hadn't been done before. So don't be afraid to try something crazy. If the first 10 people who look at it and tell you it's crazy, no one will ever buy it, then you might be in the right direction. You might not be, but you might be, and that's your challenge to figure out.